All right. Got the recording going for Rumble. Shouts out to the Rumble. Y'all know to hit up that Rumble link. It's available down in the description. That way y'all can go catch the studio quality that's presented on Rumble versus the YouTube quality that's presented as you see it. Shouts out to the YouTube articles. Y'all know it's Super Saturday. Welcome back, hot dogs and donuts. If you ain't up, you missed the time to go nuts. For the people on the replay, appreciate that part of the game, especially to the big OG homie Scully. Scully is either here or there, but either way, he'll be in the comments. If y'all can beat him to the comments, you'll get first comment. If not, he's guaranteed to come through with that ringer for your boy. Appreciate that part of the game, right? Right. It's all about supporting the people that support you. If ain't nobody supporting you, get you a better rundown on the game, and we'll have you in there like booty here. Anyways, we got some Dragon Ball videos to do today. Y'all know how we gonna rock. Recording the laptop, cause hell, this where we watch it at, right? Could watch it on the TV screen, but it echoes for the recording for Rumble. So y'all just get it how it come. Yeah. What do you say? Sit down and be humble. Ain't gonna stop us from working. Now, for those who can't see, it says no one watches you harder than the people that don't like you. Make sure you give them a good show. This is everybody in HFIL watching Goku versus Majin Buu. Hey, at the time, this was really peak because, everybody he done, not necessarily himself, packed up and sent beyond. Is watching his current fight like, man, how the fuck is he doing all of this? He wasn't that strong when he fought me. Then of course Cell had to be his biggest hater. The nigga quit when he was fighting me. How the fuck he quit? He didn't quit, Cell. It just wasn't Goku's turn to beat your ass. You was Gohan's number one apprentice for catching the ass whooping.
Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get all my new videos when they come out. And also check me out over on Twitch where I stream several different video games including Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man, and many more in the future. Give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Big D Geekdom 101. Thank you so much. Dragon Ball Super Broly was the first time that we saw Vegeta use the Super Saiyan God red-haired form in an animated format. Now, in Toyotaro's Dragon Ball Super manga, Vegeta did demonstrate his ability to use Super Saiyan God during the manga version of the Future Trunks arc. However, in the anime version, we never saw him use the red-haired form until the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Now, the question has been for quite some time, when and how did Vegeta achieve Super Saiyan God?
What
And
up,
I
big
feel like
homie?
it's a
Good to see
question
you. How you
that
doing?
is answered within the
Hopefully you have an
confines of the
excellent
series
Super
itself,
Saturday.
but still,
We
I've
over here
seen
doing
some
our
fans wonder
THIN
about
to
this
the
and
G
wonder
bars.
why hasn't Vegeta used it until now, and why and how did he get it? And the answer is quite simple, but before I give you the answer, I want to debunk a theory that's been going around now for a couple years that some people apparently believe, and that is the idea that in the Battle of Gods events, whether it be the movie, the manga, or the TV series version, when the Saiyans were all gathered together to do the ritual so Goku can achieve the Super Saiyan God form, that at some point during that ritual, the God powers somehow, through the holding of hands, leaked into Vegeta, or somehow he was able to absorb some of the God power, and that's how he was able to do it. But that
Now, if that actually was the case, everybody in the ritual at some point should have access to God Key. Because, with that being said, I mean, if Vegeta got it, then everybody should have got it, right? Which is why we go back to today's topic, which is the kids getting it. They already got it. Gohan had Mystic at the point in time, so him actually getting God Key has actually already been established. He was trained by gods. He had his potential unreleased again by gods after it was released by an Namekian god. So the Namecs did it first, but once he hit Mystic, there ain't no need to transform. You just power up. You need more power. Think about it and you'll have it type shit. But let's hear what he says. I like his explanations.
That's complete and utter nonsense for various reasons. Number one, there's no hint whatsoever of any of this happening at all. There's never any clues, even remotely. There's never any statements made by any characters, including Vegeta, or any people who have worked on Dragon Ball Super, or the staff members, or Toriyama, that this is how it happened. It's purely just fan-made fiction. This is not how it happened. The answer is actually within Dragon Ball Super itself. But I want to take you back to a time before Dragon Ball Super was even on the air, and that is to the time when all we had was Battle
Battle
of
of
Gods, the
Gods.
movie, and Resurrection F, the movie. Well, in Battle of Gods, at the end of the film, Vegeta remarks that next time he wants to be the Super Saiyan God instead of Goku. Now, when this movie first came out, many of us thought that that meant that the only way to tap into Super Saiyan God is by doing the ritual, and thus at some point off screen they did the ritual again so Vegeta can tap into that power. But that is not the case, as we were to find out later on. In Resurrection F, Toriyama came up with a brand new transformation called SSGSS, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Later on it would be called Super Saiyan Blue, but both names still apply. And that transformation was given to, of course, Goku for his fight with Frieza. But at the end of the film, Vegeta also reveals that he is indeed a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan Blue. And actually, earlier in the movie, we see Goku and Vegeta training with Whis, so we know that some time has passed between Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and during that time, Vegeta and Goku had been training with the Grandmaster Whis. That being said, when Vegeta became Super Saiyan Blue against Frieza in the movie, that was purely done to be a shocker. Even though it seems like it was so long ago, it was 3 years ago, and we've seen blue-haired Vegeta so many times since then, Toriyama intended that to be a big surprise so that the fans would be happy that Vegeta was able to reach the form that Goku reached, to reach Goku's equivalent in power. And it certainly was a pleasant surprise when it happened. Even though I still think that Vegeta should have been the one to kill Frieza in that movie. But hey, we've talked about that a million times, right? Let's get back to the topic at hand. So, with Vegeta being...
Well, no, we'll stop and talk about that. Vegeta doesn't have to defeat a main villain because guess who he does defeat? Usually on a regular, consistent basis is Goku. He was introduced as a one-off bad guy who beat the good guy, so therefore he doesn't have to defeat any other bad guy. He beats the person he's supposed to beat. For the people that don't like it, leave a comment. We'll talk about that later.
able to use Super Saiyan Blue, which we knew was basically Super Saiyan God with the power of a Super Saiyan. That is what they told us in the movie. It's an upgraded version of Super Saiyan God. We knew that at some point Vegeta either skipped Super Saiyan God, he went right to Blue, or at the very least got the Super Saiyan God off screen and learned how to use his God Ki to become Super Saiyan Blue, because Super Saiyan Blue uses God Ki. That's what the form is. It's just an enhanced version of Super Saiyan God. Well, the truth is that Vegeta did learn to use Super Saiyan God before he learned to use Super Saiyan Blue, and the reason why he was using Blue throughout the majority of Dragon Ball Super and not God is because there was no need for him to use God in his own mind, because Blue is a better form. I've already gone into extensive detail on this several times, and I know there's probably some person out there who still in their mind thinks that red is stronger than blue, even though the series has explained numerous times that blue is faster and stronger. That's another one I heard. We've done several videos on this, including one called Explaining Super Saiyan God Forms, where I go into detail with statements from the series about what these forms actually are. No matter which way you slice it, if you pay attention, the series tells you that blue is better than God in every single way. Now, that being said, when did Vegeta learn Super Saiyan God and how did it happen? Well,
Well, I think with the stamina drain, that blue makes it to where the healing factor that comes in with God is absolved. Because you notice in God form, if they revert back to God form, when they first transform, they usually can do some healing, which is what happened when Goku fought Beerus. He, as soon as he went into God, he healed himself up a little bit. That was one of the things that God Key was supposed to do that it didn't do, which is one of those things that Akira Toriyama did. He trolled us by showing us it once and then never really used it for real again. I mean, he'll be like, "You can't heal yourself. You do know that, right?" But then they be forgetting that shit, which, well, he Toriyama used to troll us with that shit. That's why I said a master troll was writing a story that he enjoyed. Yeah, so when you think shit don't make sense, that's why it don't make sense. So he can enjoy the story he's writing without having to think too seriously about it. He's wanting to write what's even funnier. These guys not remembering that they have techniques and abilities that they can use, or you know, well, let's follow the script. Okay, Goku gets hurt, he just heals himself. That's nothing because that means he didn't get hurt. That means you tried to hurt Goku, but it didn't work. That would be pointless. Nah, it's better off when Goku forgets. Oh, I could have just healed myself. Damn, that makes it funnier. Does it? Not really, but it sounds good.
Dragon Ball Super anime tells us point blank how it happened. In the episodes following the Battle of Gods arc, but before the Resurrection F arc, the in-between episodes, which technically do count as being part of the Resurrection F arc, but they weren't part of the Resurrection F story that was in the movie. And I'm talking about specifically Dragon Ball Super episodes 15 through 18. So if you want to cross-reference this, be my guest. But anyways, in these episodes, once again, Vegeta became obsessed with surpassing, or at least getting equal to the power of Goku, and thus he wants Whis to train him. We have these kind of funny moments where Vegeta is trying to show Whis some delicious food from Earth to try to convince him to train him, and then it ends up being a big gag because he creates these ramen noodles, these instant ramen noodles, and Whis accepts Vegeta as his student because of how delicious they are. And then what happens is he goes with Whis to Beerus' planet to train while Beerus sleeps for 6 months. So 6 months passed and Vegeta was there training with Whis. This is when Vegeta turned Super Saiyan God. Yes, it was off screen. Yes, it wasn't explicitly stated, but Vegeta at this point, without question, had learned God Ki, and shortly after that, figured out how to tap into Super Saiyan Blue. In fact, later on, Goku goes with Whis after the 6 months, and Goku actually states that Vegeta has gotten so much stronger that he may have surpassed him. So the idea that Vegeta has surpassed Goku by training with Whis is another statement that tells you that he has to have figured out God Ki, and thus if he did figure out God Ki, he has to have learned Super Saiyan God. And the proof is in the pudding. So how did Vegeta become a Super Saiyan God? He learned it on his own. In fact, Goku also states this. He states that Vegeta figured it out on his own, which, again, makes Vegeta a brilliant fighter because he was able to do God Ki, learn how to fight at a higher level than Goku, or a higher level than he ever has before, by training with Whis on Beerus' planet and not having to use the ritual. And the proof is in the pudding, not just in the Toyotaro manga, which Toriyama does help him with time to time, but also in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie when we see Vegeta using Super Saiyan God. And obviously Vegeta used it in the movie because, well, without going into spoilers, Broly, when he fought Vegeta, was not quite at the level that Vegeta needed to go blue. Of course, as the film progressed, he did get stronger, but that's why Vegeta was kind of taking it easy on him, because he didn't need to go blue, even though he had gone blue in the series, and also went blue evolution. Now, if your question is, why didn't Vegeta tap into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, the form that he used in the Tournament of Power against Broly? Well, the best answer I can give you is, and this has actually been revealed, is that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution is an anime exclusive form that Toei Animation came up with. Now, it's not the first time they've done this. Obviously, Super Saiyan 4 is probably the most famous creation from Toei and the artist Nakatsuru, not Toriyama, in the anime. but we don't see Blue Evolution in the manga at all. And Toyotaro has other things like Full Power Blue and stuff that I'll get into in video. But the easiest answer is that because Dragon Ball Super Broly was adapted from a script that was written directly by Toriyama, Toriyama himself is probably unaware or doesn't care about Blue Evolution and thus decided not to include it in the film. That's the best answer that I have for you as to why it wasn't in the movie. Now, there actually is evidence to this because there have been revealed character sheets that show Super Saiyan Blue for the anime, and none of them were based on an original Toriyama drawing. Like, Toriyama did not create this form like he did the previous forms and submit it to Toei Animation. It was created by Toei Animation. So does that mean the form is, you know, quote, non-canon? I don't think so. It's just not something that Toriyama himself had really come up with. But the same thing goes for characters like Kale, who were in the manga. See what I'm saying? Toei Animation and Toyotaro, they come up with stuff with Toriyama. Now, this is no longer just Toriyama's project. There are numerous people working on Dragon Ball, and a lot of them have their own ideas. And because of that, you have stuff that only appears in the manga and only appears in the anime. That's just how things are nowadays with Dragon Ball. It is not how it used to be during the original run of the manga and Dragon Ball Z, or even GT. So, anyways, thanks for watching the video. I hope now we can put to rest how Vegeta became Super Saiyan God. The answer is right there in the series. It's very simple. Whis himself talks about how much of a genius Vegeta is, and even Beerus talks about how smart he is and how great of a fighter he is. So, there you go. He did it off screen, and that is the answer. There's no mysterious power swapping during the ritual or any of that stuff. It was just Vegeta learned it just by training with Whis, because Whis is that damn good. If you're a Vegeta fan and you like this video, you gotta check out my other videos on Vegeta I've done, because they're really, really good. I'm very proud of them. We went really deep with Vegeta's character in previous videos and his different forms. So I'm gonna show you those videos right now.
Statements after the castle. Hey, JR, nigga. Ain't it a blessing? We made it out of Lansing after all that happened. That bitch, nigga. After Michigan State, after Hubbard, when our mans told on us, the bands they took from us. Joy Road, bitch, but the money long as 6 mile, brick mile.
Cosplay.
The
Gotta
first
have more of that
Super
coming
Saiyan Azaru, let me come in and keep it trill, 6 trillion right there for you. So that means when baby Vegeta goes Golden Grade 8, let's see what his numbers are. Because Goku was at 60 trillion in Grade 8 form. And that's probably nerfed because, as y'all seen, you gotta add in damage before the multiplier can kick in. You see what I'm saying? So him transforming into a Zaru gave him a 10 times multiplier, but he was in his base form when he first transformed, but this is now him as Super Saiyan. So you gotta take out the Super Saiyan multiplier. Then you gotta take out, well, you add in the Zaru multiplier, but then you gotta, you know, y'all gotta do some basic math for the people that ain't mathing the math.
Talk about why do you just sit there in the videos? I talk in some of my shorts, but they're shorts. Come on now. When was the last time you heard somebody saying how big they check from shorts was? It'll get you monetized, but it won't keep you monetized, right? Shout out to those shorts. We still doing highlights for shorts right now.
For ton of exclusive content to early access media and much more.
We don't need the closed captioning now, do we? Or do we?
This was most certainly an unexpectedly pleasant surprise to watch unfold, since I wasn't honestly expecting for neither Goku or Vegeta to take their sons under their wing and having to go and train them for this upcoming tournament. But now that they are, I can't help but wonder on how far they will all go in getting their sons to be ready enough in competing within this upcoming omniversal event.
Story now continues following the initial training session involving both Vegeta and Trunks, with Vegeta being shown having to lead the way and bringing Trunks on over to an unknown landscape to further continue their training, to which it was only just upon with Vegeta now being shown having to point on down in directing Trunks on where to go was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, "This should be far enough, and so down there, do you see it? We'll go and handle our business over in that direction over there, where we will have more than enough space to go and do what we need to, while we go and immerse ourselves within the vastness of the rich landscape around us." Am I understood? With Trunks responding, "Wait, seriously, Dad? Are you sure about this? Because, well, we seem to be in the middle of nowhere right now, and talk about a rich and immersive landscape, but there's literally nothing down there except for a bunch of giant rocks and a whole lot of dirt, and so I don't really understand on why we had to come all this way for it. And that is exactly why I had went and brought us here to begin with." Trunks Vegeta quickly responds upon being shown teleporting behind Trunks and striking him in the neck. "Now open your eyes and stick and move before I end up knocking you out cold, boy, and don't you dare even think about trying to leave here without my approval either, because we aren't going to leave until I end up getting the outcome that I went as far as to bring you here for." With Trunks being shown landing on his feet and responding, what the heck was that for, Dad? Oh, you've got me seeing stars here, and we've barely even just arrived. You could have warned me that you were gonna go and do that to me, you know, and so what was that for, Dad? Because you didn't just go and mention anything about having a star right from out of nowhere like that, with Vegeta responding, "Oh, please, where is your honor, boy? For you just so happen to carry the blood of Saiyan royalty, and yet there you stand and complaining about just a little bit of pain? You are pathetic, and the same goes for Kakarot's youngest son, Goten, as well. Because if you are going to go and complain about having to feel a bit uncomfortable with how I'm going to be treating you here, then you have absolutely no idea on what this upcoming tournament is going to have in store for you," Vegeta continues, "as every warrior that you will face will be out to go and break you both physically and mentally, and if you're not going to be ready to go and deal with such overwhelming pressure, then you can just go and do me the favor by stop wasting my time and step aside and go back to playing video games with Goten," Vegeta utters.
And I like how that's the first thing Vegeta taught Trunks. Is like, nah, they are not just going to be trying to beat your ass. They are going to fuck you over mentally. Like, that's the bad thing about these Dragon Ball fights if you actually pay attention to them. Because the bad guys be talking cash shit. Cash, especially when they winning. Especially, it's like Goku stepping on Nappa's head when he was winning. He was completely in his bad guy era. He was like, shit, I'm on demon time today, Nappa. Y'all done killed 3 of the homies already. Even Piccolo, nigga, we don't even have Dragon Balls. How are we gonna fix this? He was pissed off that the Chiefs lost.
And so now wake up and understand that if you hope to stand any sort of chance in this upcoming Omniversal tournament, Vegeta continues, then you must go on to accept the outcome of what it is that you are about to go and face and find a way to break through your current limitations, which both you and Kakarot's boy should have already had done. As there is no reason on why you shouldn't have, because think back on what the two of you had already been a part of, Vegeta continues. For if the two of you, as young as you both were at the time, had stood among the mightiest Saiyans and participating in the original Super Saiyan God ritual when it was time for Kakarot to transcend himself into facing off against Lord Beerus, then by proxy, both you and Goten should have already retained some of the passive ritualistic genetics too, Vegeta says, as there is no reason on why Super Saiyan 3 should be the limit of your current strength, and if you wish to go and stand any sort of match against the mightiest that will come before you, then you must go and push beyond your normal standards and transcend yourself into God status immediately, with Trunks being shown clenching his fist by responding, "But I never went and felt anything go and call out to me that would lead me to believe that I could go and do what both you and Goku had done in reaching such levels, Dad? And so because of this, are you really sure that I have what it takes to go beyond what I am now and wielding a similar level of power to your own? With Vegeta responding, truthfully, you will never go and amass a power like the ones that both Kakarot and I were able to go and achieve, but even while you hope to one day maybe go as far as to try and do so, Vegeta adds, it will never come natural to you unless you are willing to go and give up what you are in order to truly become the warrior that you dream for yourself in becoming, Trunks. And so because of this, you are not ready, Trunks, at least not yet. But, Vegeta continues, I at least want to be able to go and see you try, and try you will. That much I can go as far as to promise. And if you truly want to go and try to convince yourself that going and being a part of such a tournament is going to be a smooth one, Vegeta continues upon being shown teleporting behind Trunks, then you are in for a very rude awakening, especially if you end up finding yourself in a situation where you are up against myself, or even against the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse. Wait, the 5 who? You said the 5 strongest warriors in the entire multiverse, Trunks questions? And just how in the world were you able to go and get behind me so quickly? It was almost as though I wasn't even able to go and see you move, Dad, with Vegeta responding, that's right, and so now I want you to hurry up and try to hit me. However, during this moment, Vegeta adds, I want you to go and strike me by using your instincts instead of your anger, because if there was one very important lesson that Lord Beerus had taught me, is that no matter how powerful you think for yourself to be, and no matter how brave you assume for yourself to be, Vegeta says upon Trunks being shown missing one of his strikes, given any situation that you end up finding yourself within, he who is not skilled in the areas that matter most will find themselves in having to perish in battle before the fight has even started. And so now just go and think about what it was that I had just said, because without your ability to wield proper control over your power, Vegeta says upon being shown having to spin Trunks around, along with your ability to go and be able to use your techniques in ways in which only you are able to go and do so, then you are utterly hopeless, Vegeta says. And so now you better start paying very close attention to your surroundings, and you better start doing it fast, Vegeta says upon being shown striking Trunks, because how else do you think that you'll be able to go and make it very far in this upcoming tournament if you can't even go and lock onto your opponents in determining the outcome of their movements, and especially during the very course of your battle and having to go and face off against them. So that is why you will need to go and pay better attention and not go and lay your guard down, as I am only going to go as far as to remind you once. And so this is just pitiful, Vegeta went on to then point out by continuing, for if this is all that you have to offer, then you have no business in having to stand beside me, Vegeta adds. But be that as it may, and as true as this very fact happens to be, I still refuse to go and believe that, Vegeta says, as I just know that there is still a far greater power that is dwelling and sleeping deep inside of you that is just waiting to go and be unleashed. As Trunks went on to then respond, yeah, but, well, if you say that there is, then, well, why am I now finding it to be this difficult and having to bring and draw this very power out and onto the surface to go and use against you, Dad? And since I'm really trying to get a hold of what it is that you want for me to go and do, I really don't know on how else to go and reach down deep within myself in order for me to go and obtain and use such a power that you appear to be seeing that comes from within me, Dad. As Vegeta went on to then respond, well, you may not realize it yet, but I know what lies deep within you, Trunks. But if you don't allow for yourself to go and force it onto the surface, and if you don't let that power consume and drive you forward, Vegeta adds, then you will never amount in becoming anything more than just a shadow of the man that you wish that you could have been, Vegeta says, as the power that you have been searching for isn't going to be handed to you, and since it won't, then that means that you are gonna have to go and try to take it. Take it and forge it within the fires of battle, Vegeta adds, and if you are too afraid to go and embrace that struggle, then you have already lost. But I will not go and continue to train a weakling who runs from his own potential here either, as I also refuse to go and let you embarrass yourself out there, for you will not go and walk into that tournament as the son of an elite warrior prince, only for the end result to be in having to go and watch you walk away from this event as a disgrace, Vegeta says. And so you will go and continue to fight until you have made progress, otherwise just go and stand down now. And unless you plan on having to go and do so within this very moment here before me, then we will now go and hereby continue. Do you you understand? No excuses, Trunks. To which it was only within these very moments as Trunks was then shown having to close his eyes and thinking to himself before having to re-engage was when Trunks then went on to quickly respond, well, for what it's worth, he's right, because if I am not able to go and find a way to further my power into becoming everything that I hope that I want to go and become, especially for this upcoming omniversal event, then I'll need to go and let my instincts guide me, because I know that I have what it takes to go and do this, Trunks says, as I just know that I do, and so I can't just go and let myself become a victim of my own fear, Trunks adds, and if I hope to go and make Father proud, then I have to go and find a way to shatter past my limits into becoming the warrior that I know deep down that I am ultimately able to go and become. And even though having me go and reach Dad's strongest level of power may seem like an impossibility, Trunks continues, I can never go and rule myself or my potential out of the equation, especially if I know that it's within the realm of possibility, Trunks says, and so I've got to go and simply trust Father's guidance along with my own intuition and letting it go and take me as to where I need to go and belong, Trunks continues upon Vegeta being shown rushing towards Trunks, as I'll need to go and trust my gut during the course of this battle in allowing for it to guide me, to which as Trunks was then shown having to quickly move away from Vegeta's strike was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, you're finished, wait, well I'll be, now this is more like it's good, very good, just like that, Vegeta continues upon being shown continuously attacking Trunks with Trunks shown dodging each and every single one of Vegeta's punches, good, just like that, for you are able to now go and use your instincts and allow for your power to go and guide you, which will ultimately be what will lead you down the path of obtaining a far greater power if you go and keep this going, Trunks. And so now come, Trunks, come and open your eyes and ignite the fire that lies slumbering within your heart, and so now come and awaken what I sense that is lying deep within you and prove to yourself before anything that you have what it takes to participate as an equal among all of us, boy. To which it was only surprisingly enough with Trunks shown having to grab onto one of Vegeta's punches during the middle of their training session was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, hey, no way, I caught it, but how did I just go and do that just now, Trunks questions, cause, well, I surely didn't expect to go and see this one come, but then it was only during this very moment in time where Vegeta had now gone as far as to interrupt Trunks by punching him in the face was when Vegeta went on to then quickly respond, this is exactly what I mean, for I never said that we were finished, nor did I say that you can go and daydream whilst in the middle of a battle, now did I, Trunks? With Trunks responding, ouch, Dad, oh, do you have to go and be so rough out here whilst only having to start off with the basics? And of course I do, because how else are you going to learn if I'm as easygoing with you as Kakarot is with his son? But since I can now go and see that I was right about what it was that I had felt that was coming from deep within you, Vegeta continues, it'll be a long day from here on, because this is where the fun begins, Trunks. So now stand back up and dust yourself off, because now that I know on exactly what I can go and expect from you, Vegeta continues, this is where things are going to get really good from here on, boy. To which it was only within these very moments now elsewhere when then having to pan on over and seeing Super Saiyan 3 Goten having to train against base Goku was when an agitated and irritated Super Saiyan 3 Goten then went on to quickly respond, oh, no matter what it is that I try to do and no matter how many times I try to attack him, I'm just not getting anywhere out here against him like this. With Goku chiming in, well, that was a little better, but you'll still need to go and maintain your focus if you hope to be able to go and continue this fight against me here, Goten. And so unless you are willing to go and back down now while the day is still young, Goku adds, then I want you to go and try to come at me again, but also try to get a clear enough focus on the target that stands directly in front of you, son. And that is simply because as badly as you've shown me that you want to go and be a part of this upcoming tournament, Goku continues upon Goten now being shown dashing directly towards Goku. If you don't end up going and proving to me that you have what it takes to go and participate in this upcoming event by the end of the day by evolving your powers, Goten, then all you'll end up going and proving to me here, Goku says upon being shown punching and knocking Goten down, is that there is still a lot of work that needs to go and be done with you in order for you to go and get there, Goten. And as I also know that deep down you don't want want that to go and be the case here, which is why I need for you to go and pay better attention, son. Ouch! I can barely feel my face here, and so I don't know how you do it, but you make everything seem so easy here, Dad. With Goku responding, look, son, I know that this wasn't the position that you were hoping to go and find yourself out here against me, but you've got to go and find the strength to go and stand back up, otherwise you can go and forget about having to go and be a part of this upcoming Omniversal Tournament of Power. With Goten responding, yeah, but how am I supposed to go and try to search deep within myself for something that I'm not even sure is fully there or not, Dad? And that is simply because what if this is as far as I can go and take myself out here against you, Goten questions. As how can I go and be so sure of my ability to go and try to rival you, and if not even Super Saiyan 3 is enough in having to go and make a big difference out here against you, because I know that I'm tough, but I just don't know on simply where to go and look for if I hope to try to draw this dormant power out and onto the surface. With Goku responding, listen to me, Goten, I know that you may in fact not be able to go and see it for yourself just yet, but I want you to know that if Gohan was able to go and do the exact same thing a long time ago when him and I had once trained, just like you are currently here with me, that I know for an absolute fact that you have what it takes to go and pull it off as well, son. But it was as I had said earlier, it won't come easy, and I hope that you go and know that, Goten. So, while I'm not going to be going easy on you because I can't afford to, if I hold anything back here and having to help you go and prepare for this, and if I try to go and cut corners and having you take the easy way out here, then I'd only be setting you up for failure, Goten. And you know as well as I do that I can't simply go and let that happen, Goku says. As you were there when we had all gathered around and having to go and be a part of the original Super Saiyan God ritual on the day where I had went and faced off against Lord Beerus on Earth, remember? As since you were able to go and be there and be a part of such a thing, then just like it was with Vegeta when he later ascended into reaching godhood, Goku says, I know that just like him, that you are able to go and do the same thing as well, son. As Goten went on to then close his eyes by concentrating and responding, he's right, because I'd be foolish enough to believe that Dad would be wrong in having to see what he sees lying deep within me, because if Gohan was able to go and break through the glass ceiling and becoming everything that he is right now, Goten says, then I know that I could go and do the same thing if I just reach down deep and find the power that Dad knows lies within me, Goten says. But I've got to go and try and focus, because even though it may seem impossible for me to go and try to accomplish this, if Dad and Gohan were able to evolve into reaching greater levels of power, then so can I. And since I already know that Trunks is more than likely having to do the same thing with Vegeta at the moment, Goten continues, even though reaching Dad's true level of power may come at a risk and having it cost me more than I'm willing to relinquish within the moment, I will never truly know on where this might end up taking me unless I just go and do what Father says in order for me to go and find out the hard way. And since I know that this upcoming tournament will more than likely be something where neither Trunks or I will find ourselves in having to walk away as its winners, it's still worth it in having me go and try anyways, rather than simply just go and give up on myself before the event even started. To which, as Goku was then shown having to make his way towards Goten, it was only right then and there where Goku was looking to make a statement and having to see where Goten stood, as Goku then went on to quickly shout, and so whether you are ready or not, listen to your instincts and allow for them to go and guide you, because if you don't reach down deep and find the power that you are looking for, Goten, then you will only be wasting your time, because without that very power, which will be used as your light to go and guide you through the darkness, then you will only end up finding yourself and having to wander aimlessly and having to waste your potential. And so this is your one and only chance to go and see through this by the very end of the day, son. And unless you plan on going and keeping your word and becoming all that you wish for yourself to go and be, Goku continues, then the time for you to go and show me, along with proving to yourself that you have what it takes to be a part of this upcoming tournament, starts right now, Goten. But then it was only within these very moments, as Goten went on to subconsciously go as far as to grab onto Goku's fist, was when Goten went on to quickly respond, whoa, I caught it, but wait, how did I just go and do that just now? Because I wasn't expecting that try not to go and get too far ahead of yourself here, Goku responds upon immediately being shown having to punch Goten in the stomach, because you should never go and let your guard down when in the middle of a life or death situation, Goten, because not only are you nowhere near as strong as you assume for yourself to be to go and survive what's out there, Goku continues, but you'll need to always go and keep your eyes wide open, and especially if you continue on planning to be a part of this upcoming tournament. And even though that small display that you went and just showed me just now was a step towards the right direction, you'll still need to go and maintain that same level of focus, consistently if you hope to go and make it on by through this upcoming Omniversal tournament, but I still don't want you to go and give up on yourself. Goku proceeds upon being shown extending his arm down, just because things may appear to be a lot harder than what they currently are, and so while you may not be there just yet to see it, I, on the other hand, was definitely able to go and see it. Goku smiles by continuing, and even though you may in fact be a little rusty, and while this certainly isn't going to come easy for you to go and achieve, if there is one thing that I will go on and say is that by the end of the day, when this is all said and done, I know that you will have what it takes to go and dig down deeper than how you have so far, in finally having to ascend into becoming a Super Saiyan God, just like me and Vegeta were able to go and achieve. And so now here, let's go and keep on trying, because while I know that you're a little banged up, and since the day is still young, how is about we go and continue to push forward in order to see on how far you will get. And so now here, take my hand and stand back up, and let's go and continue to try until you are able to finally do it, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 10 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now I will go as far as to say that although I love on how both Goku and Vegeta have went and taken the time to help train their sons for this upcoming tournament, it would appear as though with word having to slowly be shown getting passed around, I wonder on how many more warriors will go and end up doing the same thing as the Saiyans are, because with both Saiyans now taking this time to not only getting a good enough warm-up in for themselves, but also taking the time to help their sons develop and becoming stronger, you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal in Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
He said,
Say what
Catman.
now? I will do no such thing, talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you
Of course,
all
Beerus
to
gotta clap back.
subscribe to
He
Unreal
said,
Gaming
Bugman.
for the
What?
latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it,
Y'all don't
make
want no
sure to
fucking
like the
taco?
video. Also,
He like
don't
pizza.
forget to become a member of Unreal Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
Whoa. See how high that went that fast? 360 trillion. That's why I said, he said, okay, you want to pull out a Zaru.
What up, CB? Good to see you. How you doing?
No,
Hopefully
sir,
you're having a
Bob,
good
I'm
day.
not having it. He said,
Us doing our Super Saturday thing.
So when you just went Super Saturday.
You find yourself on the Unrelenting Gaming channel. How fortunate for you. I, Lord Freezer, will spare your life as long as you subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelenting Gaming's Patreon for tons of exclusive content to early access media and much more. Do it now, or else.
I don't think so. You're not going anywhere because there is still a lot more that we have yet to show you. So don't forget to become a member of Unreal's Patreon for more exclusive content and upcoming videos. We hope you enjoy the things you're about to see. So you better not leave because we aren't done. Come now, Broly. Let's finish our battle. Now enjoy.
せればまだ攻め方が甘いかな。本気を出すまでもなかったか。父さんもまた強くなっている。俺もいつか必ず追い越してみせます。自分が勝った試合を実況していたというのは少し気恥ずかしいです。実力が均衡してこの勝負を通じて勉強させてもらいました。最後まで勝負が分かりませんでした。なんとかこいつを止められないのか。相手を吹き飛ばして隙を作る。無駄がありませんね。実況の経験は少ないのですが、俺なりに頑張ってみます。どちらを応援すべきだろうか。まだ勝負は決まっていない。俺ならすぐに形勢逆転できるぞ。確かに強力な技だが、カカロットと協力など親子で共に攻撃か。花から相手に攻撃の隙を与えないとは分かっているな。最近調子に乗っているようだが、せいぜい足元を救われんようにな。やはりとてつもない強さだ。だからこそ戦いたくなる。想像通りの結果だな。勝利してもさらなる強さを目指す。そうでなくてはな。相変わらずデタラメな強さだな。次は待て。その格好はどんな力を持っていようが貴様を倒すのはこの俺だ。互いに手加減なしの勝負をしていたならやむを得ないだろう。まったくさっさと勝負を決めないからこういうことになるんだ。勝ったこのサイヤ人、こいつもそれなりに鍛えていたようだな。そうでなくてはつまらん。今までに見たことのない戦い方だったが、奴は何者なんだ。やはりとんでもない化け物のようだな。第六宇宙最強だか知らないが、いずれ貴様も俺が倒す。ここからお互いにどう動くか、ますます目が離せません。こんな勝負が見られるなんて思いもしませんでした。相手に反撃の隙を与えないつもりなんだと思います。勝負を見て学ぶこともあると思います。集中しましょう。修行の成果というわけか。だがこれで終わりではないだろう。勝ったか。まだ戦える体を維持していたとはな。16号が勝ったか。こいつも少しはやる気を出したようだ。貴様はいずれこの俺が直々に倒してやる。囚人とはいえ狂ってきた修羅場の数が違うということか。せいぜい調子に乗っていろ。いずれ鼻っ柱をへし折ってやる。こいつは平和ボケなどしていないということか。この俺を誰だと思っていやがる。これだけの圧勝なら認めるしかなさそうだな。制限時間に頼るとはそんなものは勝利と認めん。何を驚くことがある。岩にぶつかるくらいどうってことはない。多少の破壊くらいでとやかく言うな。このままでは俺にとってもこの勝負を見届けられてよかった。右の姿勢で勝って何になる。
The thing I like about this is they prove that Vegeta actually knows how to train other Saiyans by when he was showing Kaba how to go Super Saiyan. Just doing that alone was I know how to do exactly what you want to do, so I can give you the walkthrough because, you know, it ain't nothing to coach you up. You see what I'm saying? You got the same potential, right? Right. Like shit, Negro, we always at the ritual. Think about it like that. That means don't think that Goku was the only one who got that power. Technically, we all split it. Goku was the first one that used it in Access because it was like kind of directly pushed into him at that point in time, but it went through all of us at the same time. So it's the reason why they said everybody's almost equally as strong. Yeah, them little niggas will catch up. I ain't waiting too long for that. They'll be somewhere talking about, yeah, Ultra Instinct ain't got shit on me.
方的に攻められるだけのやつがこの勝負に挑むわけがない。ここまで見届けてやったんだ。大逆転劇でも見せてもらおうか。これ式の優位で調子に乗るとはのんきにも程があるだろう。甘いな。まさかこんな形で勝負が終わるとは予想していませんでした。彼女は何者なんだ。このまがまらしい力は一体俺たちの常識さえも超越した技の数々。侮れたね。こいつをこのままにはしておけない。何か手を打たなければ過去にも同じようなことがあったということでしょうか。まさかこんなに早く決着がつくとは。先制攻撃としては文句なしといったところだな。この手数は次の攻撃への布石か、あるいはほぼ互角の相手に遠慮してどうする。さっさと決めやがれ。奴の潜在能力はこんなものではないということか。恐ろしいのは確かだが相変わらず緊張感のない技だ。思ったよりも2人の動きの相性は悪くないが、その位置からこの威力を出すのか。いちいち勘に触るやつだ。こういう形で決着がつくとはちょっと惜しいな。一人倒れましたか。ですがまだ勝負はこれからです。あと一撃もあれば勝負は決まってしまうかもしれませんね。あの圧倒的不利な状況を覆すなんて今でも信じられません。この選手との勝負のようですが、やっぱり何度見てもすごい。恐ろしいまでの強さ、圧倒的だった。なんだかお祭りのような雰囲気ですし、俺たちも構えずに見ましょう。連勝中ですか。なんだあの姿は。俺の知らないサイヤ人があるというのか。なんだこの強力な牙。見ているこっちも吹き飛ばされそうだ。サイヤ人のつらい押しだからな。こいつは他のやつらとは格が違う。なまりきった体も少しはまともに動くようになったらしいな。こんな形で昔を思い出すとはな。見ているだけは飽きた。次は俺に戦わせろ。この程度の戦いで食われるとは。この勝負の結末など読めん。自ら交代を選ぶというのか。その程度の攻撃弾いて当然だ。無理をするんじゃない。でも偉いぞ。もう少し頑張るんだ。やばいのが出てきちゃったな。だけど正義は必ず勝つ。おめえがそこまで強くなったんだ。俺はもうこの姿で相手しねえとな。あいつもあいつで頑張ってんだからよ。よくやったな。超えたじゃねえか。最後の決着は俺につけさせてくれ。お前のことはよく知らねえが随分助けてもらったな。おめえはもう謝っても許さねえぞ。おめえはもう終わりだ。何よりも強くなってる。真面目に修行を続けてたみたいだね。また今度手合わせをお願いしてもいいですか。よろしくお願いします。仲間の敵取らせてもらうぜ。難しいことはわかんねえけどいっちゃ始めようぜ。せっかくの登場で悪いがついに 100% パワーってやつのお出ましか。第6宇宙の戦士と戦いになっていい機会です。俺のことはいいんだ。お前は負けるなよ。ちょっといろいろあってさ。でも大丈夫。俺は俺だよ。父さんがあの世でも頑張って修行続けてたんだ。少しでも近づかなきゃ。本当に大切なものを守るにはハンちゃんの心を奪うサタンめ。そのままじっとしてろ。この戦いはちょっときつそうだ。オーラがさっさとペリーつけとけよかったんだ。間違っちゃいねえけどこいつはそれ以上なんだよ。ほら第6宇宙との格闘試合か。別の宇宙の破壊神か。どんだけ強いんかな。どっちにしろオラたちの敵強。
I like how bro overdrew his tail though. It's like super long. You gotta think it curves down, then it curves up, then it curves back down. Yeah. He got an S on his chest. It'll be a cash when he chain toe wrestling my neck. What up, Cliff? Good to see you. How you doing? I know to go check out content over on the Hungry Cliff page. He be getting it in also. And of course, go check out CB because you know we keep creators in the chat. 'Oh, he said he cutting down some things.
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, Talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming for the latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
Yardrat and Vegeta 10 years ago would have sounded like a joke, but in the Dragon Ball Super manga, this actually happened. Vegeta went to Yardrat and chose to master anything besides what Goku came here and learned because he has a different plan in mind. On Yardrat, Vegeta is taught the spirit control technique by the inhabitants, which allows him to manipulate his own spirit and energy in new ways. Vegeta would even create his own unique version of spirit control called the Force Spirit Vision technique. This technique allows Vegeta to forcefully extract an opponent's spirit energy, causing them to lose their power and rendering them weak, making this the perfect weapon to use against Moro, who gained a lot of his power later on in the arc from absorbing energy from others. Force Spirit Vision allows the user to separate and manipulate the energy from their target, granting them the ability to do things such as undo fusion or absorption techniques and even free trapped souls. Vegeta used this technique to strip Moro of all of the stolen energy he had absorbed, and also, even though reluctantly, Vegeta would even learn instant transmission as well, allowing him to show back up to the battlefield in record time to be able to help Goku.
Of course, y'all know to go check out the big homies YouTube, Buy Me a Coffee, and Spotify and all your other music platforms at DJ Is. Shout out to the big homie. Appreciate him putting in that work.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, at the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there to the morning light. by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the middle of the night, I'm gonna be there. To the morning
Y'all know we'll
light.
hit y'all right back at 10 on TWP for what's popping with our Saturday. Get to that Plant Talk over there, you dig? Yeah, Super Saturday over here be what we do, and then we move right over to there. So, you know, check out both of them, as we like to call it. BOFFUM, both of them.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden.